Peace, I'm Rashon Fuller. Welcome to my channel. Here we talk about living a plant-based lifestyle, healing deeply from within, and obtaining high vibrational wellness as a reality, to live it, to experience it, to optimize the way that we feel from day to day. Those are the things that we like to address here. So in the spirit of that, so we're going to talk about 3 conditions that no diet alone can heal, right? How to overcome the hidden barriers to our wellness. So let's get into it. First, let's talk about the power of belief and disbelief. If you are operating with a disbelief in your own ability to heal, that is like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Let me explain. The power the mind has over the body is immense. If you don't believe in your capacity to heal, no amount of food, exercise, or supplements will allow you to experience true healing, true wellness. Our thoughts and beliefs create our reality. When we harbor disbeliefs and negative thoughts and ideals, we actually send those negative thoughts and signals into the body, inhibiting the body's ability to heal itself. Belief just isn't a mental exercise, it's a physiological state. When we believe we can heal, our body responds. Positive thoughts triggers the release of endorphins, reduce stress hormones. This promotes a healing environment for the body to heal. So, how do we cultivate this belief? Well, it's through mindfulness now practices like meditation and breathing, affirmations, journaling, getting those thoughts out, expressing those inner thoughts so they can have a vehicle to become fully expressed, freeing us up internally, right? The whole object of, so how do we cultivate this belief? Well, we can use tools like mindfulness now practices, meditation. We can use breathing techniques and journaling, right? Taking those inner thoughts that may begin to become negative and giving them expression, right? Getting them out so that we can get a bird's eye view on the things that's damaging us internally. These are tools. Also, surrounding ourselves with a supportive community. See, the key is we want to rewrite those beliefs so we can begin to foster new beliefs that triggers in us the knowingness that we can recover and thrive from any entropy that might have entered, right? See, entropy is a force. It's like a law that is present throughout the universe, and it is constantly dragging things into oblivion, into destruction, into chaos. And there's only one thing known in this universe that's capable of defeating entropy, and that is the human cell. See, the human cell is the only thing that has the ability to add order to itself. This is when you see your cells reproducing themselves, replacing themselves, right? In essence, what we call healing. The second condition that I would like to address is toxemia. This is a condition where our pathways are blocked and our bodies are overrun with waste. Toxemia is the result of toxins building up from diet, environmental pollutants, right? Stress, the water that we are often exposed to, tap water. So there's multiple ways that these toxins are getting into our body, and due to various conditions, we may have put our bodies in a state of not being able to eliminate properly. So therefore, it's holding on to these toxins, not releasing them. And that lands us into a condition after a while, which is called toxemia. These toxins block our pathways, and it disrupts our body's natural ability to absorb nutrients. When the body is overloaded with waste, it struggles to work at optimum levels. This is when we start to become exposed to chronic illnesses, usually beginning with chronic inflammation and then spreading out into some of the other conditions, the diabetes, digestive and gut issues, cancer, high blood pressure, heart disease, circulation issues in general. These are all ailments that often have their origin in our inability to eliminate toxins and waste that's building up. It's literally disrupting the body's ability to operate at optimum levels. And again, this is not something that diet, exercise, supplements is just going to solve this particular condition. Detoxification here is the key. This is not just about trendy cleanses. This is about creating or adopting a lifestyle that allows the body naturally to heal as it should. Here, detoxification becomes essential. We have to flush these toxins out. Now, the body is already designed with built-in detoxification systems and organs. Liver. The liver is a detoxing organ. The lymphatic system is a whole system designated to trapping toxins and moving them out of the body. Okay. So there's things that we can do to help our bodies gently begin to move these toxins out of the body. Now, I'm not talking about a trendy cleanse here. I'm talking about creating and adopting a lifestyle where this becomes something that we do regularly. And we can use things or assist our body by drinking more water, intermittent fasting, right? Eating fiber-rich foods, exercise, movement, right? Breathing properly and correctly. These are known ways to help the body flush these waste products and toxins out. Okay, so I mentioned intermittent fasting, but also more long-term fasting techniques are also very effective, depending on what your body needs and what condition that the body is in. Furthermore, incorporating detoxifying herbs like blue vervain, milk thistle, dandelion, right, or burdock root. These are some examples of herbs that can help in the process of gently helping the body to activate its detoxification pathways and begin to move these things out of the body, regaining energy and strength, vitality. Now remember, detoxification is not just a one-off event, right? It is a continual process to maintain a clean and efficient internal environment. And finally, number 3, living under the stress of a hyperactive sympathetic nervous system. Our bodies are wired for survival. The fight or flight syndrome is something that was put in place to protect us. So if there's a saber-toothed lion or bear or some dangerous Tyrannosaurus Rex that's after us, then the body begins to implement its protective super suit, if you will. In other words, this body starts to turn into a superhero. You begin to release nitric oxide, so your pupils dilate. your vessels begin to open because of the nitric oxide, and more blood moves through, and the blood begins to go to the extremities. It goes to the head, it goes to the arms, hands, feet, right? The heart begins to palpitate faster. The blood pressure increases. So you hear that thump, that thumping. Adrenaline is released. All these things are happening, and what is it doing? It's preparing you to fight or run, to get away from the danger, whatever it's going to be, right? And either way, you have more strength, you have more power, you are more alert, you are in a state where you're prepared to survive that danger. Problem is, when you begin adopting a mindset that interprets things as stress that is not actually stress, but yet because you interpret it, and we talked about the power of belief, now all of a sudden you interpret it and the body is saying, oh no, there's danger. Here comes the bear. But there is no bear. But yet all of those processes still take place. You move into a state where your sympathetic nervous system becomes activated. And when it stays in this state for extended amounts of time, then you begin to lose vitality, lose energy, lose nutrients. The nutrients is now dedicated to keeping these systems that are now activated going. So this extended state of stress is eating us up. This is the kind of stress that directly leads first to chronic inflammation, and then ultimately it begins to show up in our bodies because we have not found a way to come out of that state. Now the body begins to protect itself. Now the body begins forming tumors, and the body begins creating, there's headaches because of the kind of hormones and chemical imbalance that's taking place. Now the gut is off. Now the immune system, all the energy needed to keep you in that state is leaving the immune system with insufficient amount of energy to draw from. So now your immune system takes a hit. Your digestive system takes a hit. Your ability to eliminate, your ability to think, your ability to be optimistic. So here comes anxiety. Here comes depression. Here comes this negative thinking traps and outlooks that is now beginning to impact, once again, your overall ability to heal, because on the wings of that comes doubt and disbelief because you are in a weakened state. So we have to once again begin to use practices like mindfulness now practices, right? So once again, we need to come up with regimens that help us come out of this state. And one of the most important things is sleep, getting the proper amount of rest. But another thing that's really important is reading, learning, and creating ways to have a paradigm shift or perspective shift. Some of the things that's creating so much stress is the result of how we're viewing it. We are choosing to view things in terms of scarcity, in terms of not enoughness, in terms of I am not enoughness. We have to figure out a way to rewrite that. And how do we get these perspective shifts? To dare to think a different way, to think in abundance, to think in terms of health, to think in terms of positive beliefs, right? To think in terms of I am enough. And that will help us get to a point where we are no longer just in this extended state of fight or flight. Now we enter this state of peace. We are beginning to trust that all things are as they should be. All things will be. All things will work out for me. Things are always working out for me. So here comes your affirmations, right? Here comes your meditation and your willingness to sit in the silence. So many of the solutions that we seek don't come from the worry, the anxiety, right? It doesn't come from the stressing. It doesn't come from the fear. It comes from the silence, sitting in it for a minute, right? Realizing yourself in that present moment, and then realizing the source that you're connected to. And then learning to trust that source. Learning to understand that trust gave you a heart, and that heart will guide you. It is more than qualified. But in order to follow the heart, you must become more of a pure individual. How do you do that? You purify yourself with the fire of that silence. When you sit alone with yourself, it is a very difficult thing to do. It is like a fire. You get all these thoughts rushing you, but if you're able to stay there centered, you will begin to see the difference between you in that present moment and all the other things your imagination is coming up with. In conclusion, yes, diet is important. Yes, exercise, sleep, drinking enough water, right? All those things are important. Addressing the unresolved trauma internally, addressing the stress. These are all very, very important. But if we don't have a fundamental belief in our own ability to heal, it doesn't matter. You can't recover and thrive without a deep belief in your ability to do so. All right. So this is a powerful redirect. And I hope that you will take the time to figure out how to make that redirect fit into your scenario, your story, so you can thrive with high vibrational wellness. And on that note, I'm out until next time. Peace.